Today I want to talk about ClickUp Chat and how I think ClickUp Chat might actually be able to replace your other chat channels that you are currently using. So ClickUp Chat is honestly my favourite thing at the moment, and I think as an agency or somebody who has a team, ClickUp Chat is perfect when you are managing multiple clients, multiple projects, and you need answers quick and fast for tasks, for documents, for just as a team to get things done. And I'm going to dive in to ClickUp Chat to show you what is possible when you use this software and how I think it's going to literally change the way that you actually use a chat within your business, because other chat softwares like Slack and Teams are really good at making it easy to chat with your other teammates, making it possible to chat quickly with multiple people at once. And Slack does give the opportunity for you to add ClickUp and integrate ClickUp. So you can create tasks from Slack, but when you actually use ClickUp Chat, it's so much easier to create tasks, it's so much easier to manage projects, and I'm going to show you why. So this is ClickUp, and if you have never been in ClickUp before, this is what the chat space looks like. And I'm just going to go over ClickUp just really quickly for people who maybe have never seen ClickUp before. So we have Spaces, which is where you have all your lists and tasks, and you can also create folders, and these spaces are really crucial to how tasks are actually managed. We then also have our planner. So this is an example workspace, but you can actually add this to your Google Calendar or your Microsoft Calendar, and then all your calls and everything is just so synced within this workspace. We also have Brain, which is basically having ChatGPT in your hands, because you can literally use Brain to help you with your projects and to help you see where you might be missing things, or to help generate content ideas. I have another video on that. And ClickUp Brain is really handy because it actually takes out all your details of your ClickUp spaces and your wikis that you can create within ClickUp. We also have a team space, which you can add multiple team members, and your document area where you can add multiple documents. And if you cannot see the chat space when you first get into ClickUp, it is probably because it is not pinned. So just go ahead and pin it to the sidebar. So let's go back to the chat. So the chat area is really fun because basically you can create a chat area for a space. So for example, we could go into our fulfillment area and we could create a chat area for this space. And how you do it is you add the channel at the side, and then now this area is a channel for fulfillment. So when we hover on chat, we'll now see the fulfillment area. So, but say if everybody from the team was in the general area, which is where they would be added, we could then create a task just from in the chat space. So let me demonstrate how this works. So say I want to create a domain name for this project. So I've now added this chat, and when you highlight over it, you can see that you can actually create this into a task. So this would be a CEO task. So let's create this task. So as you can see at the bottom, is, I'll just move my face so you can see. So it has created a task. So if I click on this task, it will take me to the task. And not only has it created just a task for me, it's also given me a bit of a summary from what it has been able to see in the chat. So this is super helpful when you are creating tasks, because sometimes you create a task and you're like, why did I create that task in the first place? So this is super helpful anyway, but then you can also see it within its activity. So you can see that it was created from the chat. So you can view the message again, and you could maybe save it for later. You can assign this to somebody, and you can also remind yourself through your inbox about this task. Obviously you can do all these things from the task itself, but the fact that you can create a task within a chat and then add a relationship to it as well makes creating tasks super easy. So that's one of the best ways about this new chat feature. And you can also use and create chats through Slack. So you might have seen before I started typing, you can also import Slack messages from previous conversations within your team. So you are not starting completely from scratch. And what's more important is you can actually create tasks from Slack. You might have already knew this anyway, but you can create a task through Slack by pressing the slash bar and then creating ClickUp. But the only problem with this is it's very hard to find the chat afterwards. It's very hard to find the details to add to the task itself. Brain would do this all for you. So another reason why using ClickUp Chat is super helpful is the way that you can actually create different post types. So you can create an idea and you could create a topic. So then all the conversations could be around that topic, still in the same channel. So things don't get lost within channels as quite as easily as other softwares. I also want to share that you can actually DM people within your team quite easily. So it's super easy to do that. And you can also see calendars and your assigned tasks as well. So it's super easy to find all this information about your team. And it's also really easy to create a sync up call, so you can just jump on a voice call with somebody or a video call, and you then have ClickUp Note Taker in the background who will also be able to keep track of those conversations that you've had. So then when you get off the call, you can easily look up those notes to see what actual tasks need to be added to your ClickUp. So this is a super easy way of just creating everything in one place. And for example, you can even add documents or create a document within the place. So that's create a document together. Let's call it website design. And then we can then assign somebody to that document. So as you can see, we can see little brain working in the background. So obviously I tagged myself to make sure I can create the overview, but I've also asked Brain if he could go over the key SOPs needed for this kind of document. So he's working in the background, and I think this is going to be super interesting because I've actually never used him to do a website design document before, so it'll be very interesting to see what he's come up with. But let's look at the website design page and see what has happened. So this is the kind of stuff the Brain can do for us. So he has looked at the SOPs of a normal website design document and has created almost an overview of what we need to add. So if we wanted him to actually add this to the document, he could then also add this to the document, because before he's just used this as a reply within the chat. And this is where it's super amazing seeing what can actually happen with using a project management tool that actually talks to you and also talks to AI, where you can manage your projects in one place. So he has added the SOPs for the website overview, and he's created it into another page within this page. So you can also see that he's set tasks that we can also add to this process, and custom fields as well, because they were not there before. So this is a super quick way of being able to design quickly and find quickly what you need within ClickUp.